Hello everyone. For today's video I'm going to show you how I use GraphicStock for helping me create some of my designs. Now I've been using GraphicStock for a couple of years now and they happen to be the sponsor of today's video. Now what GraphicStock is essentially a library of over 300,000 different vectors, illustrations, and graphics for you to use. Now when you have a subscription to GraphicStock, you can download as many things as you want from their library, and they are 100% royalty free. Now what that means is that because I use so many of them, especially in one drawing, you'll see how many I'm downloading today, that because they're royalty free, I am safe in using them, so nobody can sue me for using these designs for my drawings. So today I'm just downloading a few different Paisley designs, some vine designs, and some flowers to help with the drawing that I'm going to get to in a couple minutes here. Now I like to download the JPEG version, but there are a couple other versions that you can choose from if you like to use things like Photoshop and whatnot. But I'm pretty basic, so I am going with the JPEG version for today. Now the reason I choose GraphicStock for my images instead of some of the other websites out there where you can get images and JPEGs and whatnot is because GraphicStock offers a yearly subscription for $99. You can download as much as you want, where the other websites, most of them you have to pay per image, and they can cost up to $30 per image. Now, look at how many I'm downloading today. If I had to pay that much per image, it would get very expensive very quickly. So I choose GraphicStock. I just pay the yearly fee, download what I need, and I'm done. Now I'm going to leave a link down below to GraphicStock for you to receive a free 7-day trial where you can download up to 140 images in those 7 days so that you can try them out and decide if you want to go for the full version. I highly recommend GraphicStock. It's very user-friendly. You can see it's just a couple of clicks and it's a basic search engine, so you can find what you need very easily and download it and save it to your computer. And then I will show you now how I use it in my drawings. So now that I've downloaded a bunch of images, I go to my very basic paint program and I'm just resizing the images so that I can fit a bunch onto one page. Now once I have a bunch on a single page of different sizes and different varieties, I will go ahead and print them out on a bunch of different pages and bring them over to my desk. Now you can see I have a couple different pages as well as my cardstock and my light pad. And all I'm doing is I'm using those images from GraphicStock and tracing them in various places along my page. So I'm doing it very lightly in pencil and just overlapping everything and putting as much on there as I possibly can because I do like to fill up my pages with my drawings. So I've got my Paisleys down and now I'm just adding some flowers, and then I'll add a couple of vines here and there. Now that I have all of my images traced out, I am going to go ahead and make them bolder with one of my markers. Now you might be wondering why I would even choose to trace rather than drawing my own designs. Well, I do. A lot of times I do draw my own designs and I don't use GraphicStocks. But when I was first learning how to do all the Zen Doodles and things, I wanted the focus to be on the patterns. So it was a better idea for me to download these images and have an outline of where to put the patterns so that I could focus more on how to do the patterns rather than how I can make a Paisley design. Now off camera that you didn't see, I did thicken some of the lines just to make it look a little less traced. And now I'm starting to add my different patterns in here. Now this drawing is done on an 8.5 by 11 piece of 110-pound cardstock, and I'm using my Pigma microns and different drawing pens to create the patterns inside. And overall, this one took me about 3.5 hours to do, and that's with using the GraphicStock. So, this one took a long time, mainly because of the coloring as well, and deciding what different types of patterns I wanted to use to make this drawing mine. I am pretty happy with the way this drawing turned out, which is good because I spent quite a bit of time on it. More time than I have on some of my more recent drawings. So I am pretty happy with it. I got to use some of my markers for coloring it in that I haven't used before. Obviously I still use my Bics and my Sharpies, but I got to use my new Copics. I got 6 new Copics. They were on sale at Michael's a couple days ago, so I grabbed a couple of them because I do want to start getting a collection of Copics together. They are very expensive, so I will slowly start growing my collection. I'm in no rush. I do have my Sharpies, which I'm always happy with. You guys know that. So what I've been up to lately, the past week or so, I've been cleaning out all of my art supplies. I've gotten rid of a lot of things, some paint that I haven't used in a long time, and markers that I'm not a fan of. So what do I do with all of my supplies that I'm no longer using? Most of them are still in really good condition, so what I'll do is I'll just bag them up and give them to Allison, and whatever she doesn't want, she will bring them to school and give them to the art teacher there. And it's just a good way of clearing everything out and not throwing anything away because, well, I mean, I spent money on it, so obviously I don't want them to go to waste. So if it can go to the school for them to use it, that's great. Now, it has been about a year since I've done my last drawing space tour, so if you want a new video on my drawing space, let me know in a comment down below and I will record that for you. Not a whole lot has changed, but I do have new storage for my markers, which I'm really happy for. I have all of my Sharpies separated by each individual color, my Sharpies and my Bics, along with my multi-liner pens, all separated into their own size and whatnot. So if you are interested in seeing all that, let me know and I'll record it for you very soon once everything is all finished and I'm happy with the way my drawing space looks. It is quite a process for me when I decide to reorganize everything because I have so much of it, but if you are interested in seeing that, I will put it on my to-do list. Now I am just finishing up the last couple of Paisley designs with different patterns, and now I am going to color it, which really brought everything together. I was really happy with the way it turned out after everything was colored. I blended some of my Sharpies, and you can see here I'm using my new Copic markers. So I was pretty happy with today's drawing. Let me know what you think once the video is over, if you liked this pretty little thing. I'm trying to decide what I should do with it. I've thought about cutting it up and making it into bookmarks again. I'm not really sure if I want to do that. I may laminate it and use it for a cover for one of my notebooks. I'm not really sure. But I have a whole bunch of artwork that I just kind of have stored and I don't really know what to do with it. So, I don't know. Anyways, I do have something I haven't talked about in a while because I've closed my shop is my Etsy shop. I do have that open once again and I have a ton of new coloring sheets. If you are interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link to my Etsy shop down below so that you can go and check out the new coloring sheets and see if you want to maybe purchase one or two and try coloring them. And I think I've mentioned this a couple of times. It's written in my book as well, that I have a Facebook page that is called Love to Color. It's a group of people who just color a bunch of stuff. It doesn't just have to be my stuff. And we share each other's pages. And yeah. And so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to that too. All kinds of links today. So here is the final scan through close-up of all the details of the drawing that I created. And here is the completed piece. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all again very soon.